what we're doing with the grocery row gardens now is getting out all the tropical stuff that we need to preserve through. We are getting everything ready to be mulched for the winter or planted up with winter cover crops. So I'm kind of reshaping the beds where they've been torn up. This bed was, since it was all cassava right here, it doesn't have as many trees in it. There are trees behind me and there are trees over there, but this bed had stuff that we harvested out of it. So I could put in a bunch of turnips right here, or I could decide I was gonna stick in some more berries and make it more of a berry row or whatever I wanted to. But for now, just trying to get this ready, and we're trying to get anything that we need to preserve, save seeds from, save cuttings from, and get it ready so we have stuff that we can plant out this coming spring. And that's really the big challenge right now, is that this frost is creeping up on us. They have revised the cold down, so it looks like we're going to get hit. So there's some work we've got to do. These are Chaya right here, Mexican tree spinach. And if it freezes, these guys are done. There's an anole up there I don't want to lose. So I'm just going to cut them ahead of that, and we'll protect the trunks underneath. So these here are going up for sale in my daughter's seed store, and I will put a link to that below. These cuttings are enough to plant a lot of Chaya plantations. It's a very good green. This is not really the ideal climate for it, but further south of here, it's really good. And it does grow here, it's just not the best. I don't really know how it's going to do through the winter. It grew well through the summer. The leaves don't look nearly as happy now that it's gotten cooler. They grow much better further south. But I'm going to protect the trunks from frost so they don't rot. They don't really seem to be able to grow when it gets cool. But we'll just stack some leaves over them. And we're going to do the same thing with the cassavas that I'm leaving behind, because I have cassava that is just sitting and waiting. I'm going to do the same thing with this cassava, but I'm going to have to get loppers.
Where's my loppers? Where'd the kids put them dang loppers?
This cassava is our less productive variety of cassava. The other ones I harvested were huge. These gave me about half the yield, and then I've got some other varieties that didn't give me anything big enough to harvest yet. So I'm going to let this stay in the ground here and have some more time to produce, but I'm going to have to cover it over with something so it doesn't freeze out, and then the roots beneath the ground will be just fine. See, all you really got to do is kind of mulch over it so the worst of the freezes don't get it. And if I mounded up some more, I don't know, pine needles or something on top of it, anything like that'll do it. But the roots are not going to freeze in the ground. I just want to make sure that this top part here doesn't get rotten and stuff. Plus, these guys here, if the top freezes off, I don't get these cuttings to use and save for next year's planting. And I'm not sure I'm going to get rid of this variety yet. I loved the other one, but we are going to do a taste test side by side and see if maybe there's something special about this variety that makes it worth preserving and keeping. I like to have a diversity of varieties of just about everything, but this is very borderline for growing cassava, and since we had that one that worked really well, I know that that's going to be my primary one for next year. That's why we run these kinds of experiments. But this one may have a reason to keep it. It did give us something, which is good. Just the roots were about, like I said, half the yield of the other ones. And these canes here, I'm just going to move out of the way and hide them away, but that will be another video. The next thing we'll do is mulch. And I got all these bits and pieces of leaves that we got off of the cassavas that I'm setting aside for cuttings. We strip the leaves off and I just throw them back down as mulch. Feed back some of those nutrients to the ground. If we can keep a cover on the ground, it's good, whether it be plants or leaves or something, particularly over the winter. This will slow down the leaching through the soil and add those nutrients back in. Plus, it may keep the 5 remaining no-till deep mulch people that watch this channel hanging around. I care about y'all. Look at me, I'm mulching. Definitely did not deep till this bed and throw a sheep in it. That's fake news. Basically, to put these to bed, here's what I do. I go around and I harvest everything that's still edible, everything that's gonna get damaged by the frost, anything I wanna keep. If it's something that we have way too much of, it may get fed to the animals or composted, or if it's just subpar produce and I don't care about it, that's what happens to it. If it is something that I need to preserve cuttings from or seeds from, I try to get that out of here before the frost comes and kills it. And then I harvest whatever I can, get the good stuff out, and then we're going to wait and see what the frost does to everything else. I don't have to worry about the perennials that are in here. I don't really worry about the flowers and stuff like that. They're gonna die down to the ground. It's not that important. The perennials I would like to mulch around, so as we get ready over the next few days, I'll be cutting more stuff and probably raking the woods and getting some pine needles and oak leaves and whatever else has fallen and just mulching around the base of the perennials. They're gonna do fine. All the perennials that I planted in here, with the exception of the cassava and the chaya and maybe something else that I can't remember right now, are all cold hardy. I have temperate climate species that make up the backbone of this grocery row garden system. So I don't really have to worry about them, and that's great. I got the harvest out of the stuff that I wanted and needed already, just like an annual garden. The annual garden part of this is going out, and I treat the tropical stuff pretty much as annuals, except for the few that I'm just gonna cover the bases on and hope they come back up. But these beds now, they look like there's not much here. This started as a jungle of gigantic cassava plants overhead, and that's gone. It's basically back down to that skeleton. I've got things that are perennial in here like the gingers and the cannas, and I've got Jerusalem artichokes that I'm gonna pull whenever I get around to it. They're temperate, it doesn't matter. You know, persimmon over here, and there's the raspberries and the blackberries and all that cool stuff. Over here, pomegranates, plums, etc. If you've read the book, Grocery Row Gardening, I wrote a little book, it's called Grocery Row Gardening, really simple, and it's an overview of how the system works and how I developed it over time and who the influences are and how you can build one in your backyard. This is not just a tropical system. I am between tropical and temperate climates right now, so this is a combination of some tropicals with some temperate, but the skeleton of it is a skeleton that is adapted perfectly to this climate. So the trees that I have in here for the most part are trees that just thrive here easily. You'll notice that I don't have citrus in here, for example. I don't have mangoes in here. I don't have anything that I would have to come out and really protect. This is a food production system. This is permaculture here, and we're trying to make it work with the environment. So my berries are blackberries and blueberries and a variety of raspberry that grows down here. My trees are stone fruit, and I've got pears and apples and peaches and plums and just normal stuff for this climate. So that stuff is just gonna go right through. Once I finish this harvesting of the stuff and the mulching over the few tropicals that I want to preserve in the ground, there's nothing left to do. I can go in here and I could plant some brassicas, some turnips, some kale, or whatever I want to carry through, cover crops. No problem, I can do all that stuff. But I don't have to, I could just put it to sleep. I'll probably pull out some of my trellises. Just keep mulching and cleaning stuff up. But you don't have to watch me do all that. I just kind of wanted to give you an idea of what we do to prepare it before a frost. And of course, if you're interested in the system, check out the little book. It is below this video. grocery row gardening. I think you'll enjoy it. People have written some nice reviews on it, and I'm very happy with the system, and I find it very exciting. It's like a food forest that is under control, a permaculture orchard combined with vegetable gardening with a big, wonderful mix of species and an organic, mostly no-till system. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time. And until then, may your thumbs always be green.